up, everybody? Kenny Smith, the man-child. I got my mask on, and I'm on location with Cooking with Kenny, episode 9. I'm here at our head communication girl, Allison Xanthopoulos' house. We're both Shenandoah University alumni. Good times. I party harder than her, though. So, we're here with episode 9. I love the number 9. Everything about the number 9 I love. So, if you go with the number 9, oh look, Corey just came in. Anyway, you come here for the episode of number 9. I love everything about the number 9. Chase Elliott, NASCAR driver, number 9. But if you want more Kenny Smith in your life and music, you turn up mix number 9 in Cobbler Hall and you'll hear my wonderful sinful guitar playing. Anyway, we're here with Allison and we're going to be making something on a cold winter night because the nights are getting cold in Cherokee County. Little urban cowboy reference for you. And we're going to be making chili. Cincinnati chili. So, xylophone, show us how it's done.
So, we got a recipe here. This is from a slow cooker book that I've got a while back. So, I'll post this recipe too, but this is a slow cooker. So, we've got, first we're going to make a little sachet with some cheesecloth. So I've got a nice square of cheesecloth here, double cheesecloth.
Do you think it's Swiss or cheddar?
And we've got a couple different things that go in here. So a teaspoon of whole allspice is our initial spot. And then a teaspoon of whole cloves go in here. So whole cloves, really strong. Put those in there. 1 cinnamon stick. So I get the giant pouch, although I'm almost out here. Costco, quality ingredients.
Let's talk about how great Costco is. It's the only place where you can get a hot dog and a drink for $1.50.
That's right. That's right. Those hot dogs are money too.
They are.
All right. Actually, I'm doubling this recipe, so I got to go back. So 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of whole. Ugh. Can't handle my ingredients here. All right. Bay leaf goes in there next. I'm a mess, right? All right.
She went to the river cleanup and now she can't pick up anything.
That's right. All right. So we got all that, and then we're gonna tie it up with some cooking twine. You want cooking twine and not just regular string.
If it were me, I'd use baling twine out of a New Holland 575 square baler. I don't like to cheap out on my twine. 9,000 pound strength.
Gonna tie that up in a little sachet here. Double knot it. I tend to cut off the extra string just so it's not absorbing too much of the liquids that you want in your chili. And I cut off the extra, so we got our nice little sachet. And then I just plop that in my slow cooker. Our next is browning some ground beef. Oh, although while the pan's heating up, I'm gonna chop up some onion. I have a fancy food processor here, so that's gonna do my chopping for me. This recipe calls for
lazy.
A half a large onion per amount, so I'm gonna do a whole. Cut off the top, bottom, peel it. I'm gonna toss that in the food processor. I try to generally make sure it's quartered because chopper processor only does so much chopping. Also, I have crushed tomatoes today, but if I didn't have crushed tomatoes, I would use a can of diced tomatoes and put those in the food processor with the onion. Because you want things, Cincinnati chili is generally supposed to be really smooth. It even says in this recipe to have finely ground sirloin. So I don't have that. I just have regular ground beef. But you want to make sure it's nice and thin and even. I'm dropping all sorts of stuff today.
Breaking everything in this kitchen. Let's talk about the slow cooker. I am convinced that was made by a man with a blue-collar PhD. Because dude threw it in when he left for work at 5:30 in the morning, came back, and it was cooked. Only person that could invent that was a man with a blue collar. And maybe Hamilton Beach. But that's beside the point. Let's talk about working men. We got Merle Haggard with the Working Man Blues, and you know he was talking about our facilities managers, Kurt Nordstrom and David Friend, in that song.
Why?
Because it's a big job just getting by with 9 kids and a wife.
Oh.
I think Kurt had 4 kids, and David has 2.
So that's almost 9.
What is that? That's 6.
6. Alright, we're going to brown up our ground beef here.
How many pounds of ground beef are we using per recipe?
Per recipe, it says
2?
2.5.
2.5. 5 pounds of meat.
That's right. This was pre-frozen, but you can get the fresh stuff. Recipe calls for ground sirloin.
$5, you got it at Costco.
You want to get fancy. Or ground it yourself if you're ultra fancy. Alright, so while our ground beef is going, I'm going to add the rest of my items to the slow cooker. Our items are our crushed up onion with some chopped garlic in there. And then the rest of our spices are going to be 1.5 teaspoons, so we're looking at 3 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. I just measure it out over top. 1, 2, 3. 1 teaspoon cumin. 1 teaspoon cayenne pepper. I tend to put a tiny bit less because it can get spicy. One tablespoon Worcestershire. And then something's tricky about this recipe, and I always forget it, is in the recipe, the directions itself, it talks about a teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Alright, so we're adding the ground beef here. That's the last thing. And you mix it all together. Kenny's doing the heavy lifting.
Daggone right, I lift hay all day. I ain't got time for this nonsense.
Give it some good stirs here.
Alright, hey, so you've never seen Urban Cowboy?
No.
Oh my god. Let me talk about all the hits that were in Urban Cowboy. Looking for Love in All the Wrong Places. Woman at the Well. And then, the best hit in the movie was You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma. Which starts off, the nights are getting cold in Cherokee County. And you know where I learned that song from? Henry Hawkins, who's a security guard at SU. Allison probably doesn't know him as well as I do because I was a troublemaker. But anyway, the best line in that song is the guy who is David Frizzell says, I worked 10 hours on a John Deere tractor just thinking about you all day. You know what the girl says?
What?
She says, I got a calico cat in a 2-room flat on a beach in West LA. Terrible life.
Alright, we're done. We're done.
Alright, now it's on for 6 hours.
That's right.
Alright, now it's a waiting game. All right, we're back. But now we're at the farm because Allison was nice enough to bring over dinner for Cooking with Kenny after I baled hay all day. Ain't that great? So, we're making Cincinnati chili, so you gotta put pasta in it. So we got our water boiling, salt it. 11 minutes on the pasta. All right, let me put this in.
All right, while he's doing that, I'm gonna grate unsweetened chocolate into the crock pot. So you want to hold it. So the single recipe calls for 1 ounce, so I'm doing 2. And you want to grate it because you want it to melt nice in there. You want to make sure to hold it with the paper that it comes in. Otherwise, it melts real fast in your hand.
Could be like M&M's. Melts in your mouth, not in your hands.
So our original recipe talks about beans on top. So once we're done,
David Curvin knows. Chili, all beef, no beans.
once we're done and he's piling it on his plate, you can put some nice steamed kidney beans or kidney beans on there. And of course, lots of cheese.
All right. So the pasta just dinged. It's done. Oh, hang on. Turn that thing off. Now to drain. All right. And like I said in episode 8 of Cooking with Kenny, you need to blanch it so it don't overcook. Gordon Ramsay taught me that. And there you have it. Chili over pasta. Allison Xylophone's famous Cincinnati chili. It'd be better if it was from Cleveland, though. Well, this is Mr. Kenny Smith, the man-child, here with the xylophone. We'll see you soon.
All right, bye.